start by removing these four fasteners. Okay, once you removed the four fasteners, you can take off the fan like so. Then you wiggle it out if you have room, or you leave it there till you have these drive belts off. Then you have some working room. So remove the clutch cable from this clip. See, now it's off. Remove this one and that one. Okay. Okay, release the hose clamp on this top radiator hose, because the guard can't come up. So if it loses some coolant, it's not that important, because I'm going to change the water pump anyway, so that's no problem. So I put that aside, and that should give us more room to wiggle this stuff out. So let me try that. It's me to show how deep is your love. Ta-da! That opens up a whole lot of room for us to work in. So let me, I'm standing outside now, but I'm going to put the car inside in the workshop. So I'm going to put this hose back temporarily. This doesn't matter for short drive, it's only 10 meters, so that shouldn't be a problem. Well, release this connector, then we put this rubber sits here, but put this connector to the side, like that. Disconnector to the side. Now we're going to remove the timing belt cover. And this one, this one, this one. Okay, we have to remove pulley on the crankshaft. And it's held down by 5 8mm fasteners. And yeah, there's not a lot of space to film and take these off, but don't remove the big bolt, only the 5 small ones, and then you can take the pulley off. It's very difficult. It's going to turn, so I'm going to have to find a way to lock it down. Okay guys, this plastic cap you can pop off, and then you can see into the gearbox or the bell housing. We're going to place a screwdriver on the flywheel there, so you'll see what I mean in a minute. Place the screwdriver between the pressure plate and the gearbox casing, so it's blocked. So now I can turn the small bolts, these small bolts. Then I can't see it, can't see them, so I have to do it on with feeling on the touch. So, but at least we're getting somewhere. See, I can get my socket on there, so it's still a pain in the ass. Yes, that's that. This one. Okay, this is the last one. Okay, it's the last one. So give the pulley a couple of whacks with a hammer and see if it comes off. While I'm down here, I will remove the bottom 2 fasteners. La 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 la. No, I need a socket for that. That's it. It also has this pilot hole, so you know where you need to put it back. Now this one. Okay. Okay guys, now this one. Okay. Now release this one here in the center. Okay, we got it. This is our price. With a long screwdriver I put the engine in top dead center and I looked for markings, and here's a marking, and I transferred it with some paint to this notch here, so that's one marking. And at the bottom there's also a marking on the crankshaft pulley. It's difficult to see, but see that little line there. Also put some paint on it and transferred it to the back. There's also a mark on the case, and you align those two. You see that arrow? I aligned it with the front of the pulley, and let me see if I can shed some light on that. You see, that's aligned. So now we can take the tension of the belt by releasing that fastener, this one, Then we take the belt off and we go further. Okay. Okay. As you can see, the tensioner is movable. So now we can take the belt off and the tensioner off. Coffee. Okay, open up the drain plug. That's at the bottom of the radiator. So let it drain. Okay, release the bottom fastener of the alternator. Then this one for the adjustment, the belt adjustment. The bottom bolt of fastener is 40 millimeters. Top one is 12. So also give this one a couple of turns. I already loosened them off camera for a bit of speed, because yeah, it's, I can't take all day for this. Also remove these 10 millimeter bolts that hold the dipstick in place. It's two of them, one here and one there. So put that aside. Okay, that's all of them. That's it. Okay, we let this set for a couple of minutes and then we put it on the car. Okay, now put the bolts in. Okay, we hand tighten them first, not too tight, and then I check if I can find the torque spec for them. Okay. Put the bracket back for the alternator. Dipstick. Okay, this is a new tensioner, and with this bracket you control the tension because that hole is offset. So if you turn this, then the tensioner moves inward or outward. So that's the way you control the tension on the belt. And there's a little tab here in the back where the bracket falls into, as you can see. And yeah, with you put it in and you put tension on it, and then you lock it down with this bolt. Okay, it's on. So yeah, you tighten it. You make sure that this is in that little hole on the back. So as you can see, as you move this bracket, the tensioner moves from side to side. So that's how you control the tension on the belt. Okay, so I begin by putting the belt on the pulley and holding it down with these two clamps, because yeah, I'm alone and sometimes it's handy if you have another person. But yeah, I make sure the belt stays on this pulley by two clamps, and then I go under the car and I try to maneuver the belt on, and yeah, try to make sure that your marks stay on the same spot, because that's your timing. Okay, so now try to maneuver the belt on. So now it still has to go around the tensioner. You saw what happened. The pulley turned, so now I have to put the pulley back in its place. Okay guys, the belt is on. Yeah, excuse me that I couldn't film it. It's always, yeah, a bit of wiggling and fiddling, and it's also about feeling, and but yeah, make sure the tensioner is set all the way to its position of least tension, because then you have the most room to put the belt on. Yeah, and also make sure that your timing marks stay in their positions, and if you are off, then try again, and until you get it right. That's my advice. And now let's put some tension on the belt. I'll show you how that is done. And okay, I put the tension on the belt. Now, how do you do that? You don't tighten this all the way, so it has still some movement in it. You don't put this one in yet, and you put that little spring there on that bolt, and that puts tension on the pulley. And yeah, once that is installed, then you tighten that bolt, and you tighten this. I think this is about 10 Newton meters, and that one is 12, so that's probably a little bit more. But yeah, I put some Loctite on it just to be sure. I put some Loctite on this one, on this stud, just to be sure. And yeah, I don't have a way to check if the tension is correct, but I always just check if I can turn the belt a quarter of a turn by hand, and just by feel and look I check if the belt is tight. I turn the engine over by hand 2 times. Timing marks still are correct, so I can proceed. Okay, let's torque down. .22 Newton meters. I put the spark plug back in the number 1 cylinder. Okay.